Hello, namaste everyone. So today we'll be talking about planet Sun. So welcome to Astro Impact channel. So we'll be discussing about the Sun, the Surya Devta. So before talking about the Surya Devta, let's pray for Ganpati and then we'll start and with the mantra. So Om Ganpate Namah Om Vigna Hartaye Namah Om Ekdantaye Namah. So, and also the Surya Devta, Om Surya Devta Nama, Om Rang Ring Rong Sah Surya Devta Nama. Okay, so we'll be now starting our video. So let's talk about sun. So what exactly sun is? So sun, that is the only like sun and moon is the only planet which you can see, right? Very visibly. You can see Venus, you can see Mars, Jupiter as well. However, the most visible and the most luminary is a sun, right? So sun represent the vitality, sun represent the confidence, sun represent the charismatic, sun leader represent the leaderships. So sun means wherever sun will sit, that house will be shining, right? So wherever the sun will sit, that house will be brighten up. That house will represent your will have a ego, sudden ego. That house will have sudden kind of the brightness, and that will carry the confidence and the self-respect, whichever house the sun sits, right? So now we'll be digging deeper into what it will happen when the sun will sit in specific houses, right? So I have already told you sun represent the vitality. Sun is the Surya. Wherever this in this world, everything, whatever we are doing right now, it is because of energy, right? If we are eating, that is a chemical energy. So anything. So if we are consuming electricity, that is electrical energy. So different things, whichever we are using, that is of energy. And sun is the planet that gives the energy, and sun is also called the natural Atma Karak, right? It's a natural Atma Karak as well. So, sun is the soul, right? So, wherever sun sits, your soul crave for that matter. Okay, now we'll be talking about what happens if sun sits in the first house. Okay, so when sun sits in the first house, so first house get glows. What is the first house? First house is your lagna, that is yourself. What is your appearance? So whenever the sun sits in the first house, you will have a strong confidence, charismatic appearance, and you will be natural leader, and you will be very ambitious. So you will have a strong sense of dominance, right? Wherever when and you are, of course, you will be very impatient, and you will have very dominating personality, because the sun sits in your lagna, that is your in your like in your head, right? So whenever it's sits in the lagna, it makes your face appearance very brighten, right? It makes your face very brightening and shining. And if you have very much a sun, and maybe there can be any affliction as well, you can see that person can be bald or lack of hair or something like that. So I will be talking about myself as well. So my sun is in the seventh house. So okay, so what happens is wherever sun sits, it's heaten up and that oxidize and makes your things. Sometimes most of the time it's mixed dry, right? It can like oxidize the thing. So whenever the sun sits in the first house, so there is a very challenges with you. You will feel like a king, you will think like a king. And remember, my dear friends, if you have the sun sits in first house, never expect, never accept anything from anything what has been donated to you, don't like accept things, because that will make your sun afflicted, because since sun is in the first house, it has a directional strength as well. So it having the directional strength, um, that might afflict your personality if you accept anything, donation from anyone, or if you ask someone for something, like um, every time if you are asking for, sometimes if you are asking and you are like getting the favor, and you are not paying that, the fare back. So in that circumstances, your son might act in different way, not in a good way, right? So the thing is, the challenges with you will be very much highly egoistic. You can be highly egoistic and very much impatient, right? And you, since you will be a dominating personality, so people may get fear from you, and due to being fear from you, sometimes you don't do anything, but people still maybe fear from you, and due to that they can harm you intentionally, because they they can't stand with your personality. So the lesson with the sun in first house is lead with humility, not with pride, right? So the lesson is lead with humility and pride, not with the pride. So make sure you know you are king, right? You know you are king, you know what you are doing, and you know that I will do my tasks by hook or crook. So sun rise in the east, and it is in the first house. So these people with sun in first house have a highly disciplined life. And since doesn't matter someone is doing good or bad or anything, doesn't matter, but sun always rise from the east, right? Exactly same way, sun never like refrain from his duty. And exactly sun in the first house, he always makes sure he is very disciplined, and he does the things in very proper manner and disciplined manner, until and unless your sun is not afflicted with a different malefic planet, right? Okay, now we'll go to the sun in second house. So let's talk about what is second house. Second house is your house of your home, right? Your house, your kutumba, your relatives, your speech, right? Your money, your gains, right? So and it resembles your family. So whenever sun sits in second house, you might come from very respected families values, right? Whenever you sun sits in second house, you have a strong voice, very commanding voice, right? So you sometimes you speak with humility, but people get you as an arrogant person, because that's your tone, very dominating tone, maybe strong voice, and due to that people might get like fear from you, or may have problem with you, because you speak, and you don't you when you speak for the justice, you speak for the dharma, you speak for the religion, and that's why sometimes people get like frustrated with you, right? And they conspire against you, how to like like make out of way from you, right? And also, so in the challenges related to the second house is that harsh speech, whenever you are in the sun is in second house, that makes your harsh speech, and there can be family conflicts, right? You can have family conflicts, and you can have attachment with your wealth, right? So you want to secure your wealth, and you want to do leadership in your family, so you want to take initiative, and you want to do something for your family. So you are come from very well respected family values, and your family has might have a good value system, and someone from in your family members also could be working in the government job, or some like government job, or maybe your relative could be doing a government job as well. So that's in the second house But let me tell what lesson you have to do whenever your sun is in second house. Use your word to inspire, not to control. So always remember, my dear friends, whenever you have sun in second house, use your words to inspire, not to control. Don't try to control anyone. Just use your action word to inspire someone, right? So we'll see in the sun in next house, that is third house. Thank you. Okay, so those who have sun in third house, let's talk about what is third house. Third house is of communication. Third house is of subconscious mind. Third house is about your courage. Third house is about the initiative you take, right? The third house is about medias, right? And the third house is about your siblings, right? And third house is all about and the um, have told you already, subconscious mind. So whenever sun goes in the third house, you have very much courage, right? You are very courageous. You want to do courageous thing. You want to do sporty activities, right? So you want to do trekking. You want to do any kind of courageous act, right? And you are an excellent communicator because sun is in your third house and you have a command in your speech, right? So whenever sun is in third house, that makes you a very very like excellent communicator, right? And now whenever sun is in the third house, you have entrepreneurial spirit. You want to create something, you want to initiate something. You could be doing your job, but you might be thinking like an entrepreneur. You own the things, so you have ownership. You whenever you don't do duty like a duty, you do like that's your thing. It's your moral responsibility. You just put your things, you put your all the efforts, and you try to sign in the third house. So challenges could be like conflict or rivalry with siblings. Whenever you have son in third house, your siblings might think that you are egoistic person, right? So son like son in third house, people might think you as a people, not people, but mostly I mean, yes, people can also think you because you have a courage and you want to lead your way. That's why you can have a rivalry with sibling. And sun is third house can give you very much overconfidence, my dear friends. There is a catch. So whenever you have sun in like third house, you can have overconfidence because third house is a house of initiative, courage. Whenever it goes over there, you can have a lots of over like confidence, and there is a high risk taking ability. You can have high risk taking ability, which is good and which is challenging thing as well, because sometimes you don't analyze the thing and you just take the risks, right? And that where you just like ruin yourself, right? So ruin your work, right? So make sure you take calculated risks. I mean, of course, risks, you can of course take the risks, but you have to take calculative risks. You have to think about future and analyze the things. And okay, so now lesson from this, I mean, third house. So balance with patience. First thing, balance with patience. So third house is also about the balance as well because it's about the subconscious mind. So you have to balance courage with passion. Whenever you balance your courage with passion, that time magic happens. I have already told you, you can take calculative risks, right? So in that case, if you do the like balance courage with passions, sun in third house can give you a good result. Okay. Okay, now we'll be talking about sun in fourth house. Let's talk about what is the fourth house. Fourth house is of your home, right? Fourth house is about your mother, your home, your nurturing, your vehicle, right? So fourth house is also about your mental peace. Fourth house is also about school as well, and fourth house is also about the relatives. Relatives as well. Okay, so whenever you are in a fourth house, or wherever you have like sun in fourth house, right? You can have pride in your home. You can be pride in your home. So if sun sits, it has been said that if sun sits in fourth house, and if you are making your house, if you have made your house, so better to show off, right? So you'll it's like you can you can beat the drums, you can sound the drums, right? And you can just say to your friend, oh look, my house is this, and because wherever sun sits, therever you can show your, like, you can have show off, right? So whenever a sun sits in a fourth house, right? So fourth house, you have proud in your home. You want to do leadership in your family, right? You want to do family leadership in the family. Emotional resilience, you will have very emotional resilience, because sun is vitality, sun is confidence, and if that sits in the fourth house, that's has like emotional resilience. You will have lots of emotional resilience. Doesn't matter how much traumatic your life will be, but that sun in the fourth house give you the emotional resilience, right? Okay, let's take talk about challenges. So that can give you distance from mother. Sun in the fourth house can give you distance from mother, or maybe your father can behave like a mother or gives you nurture. So that could be also a great a thing for you. Inner restlessness increase. Okay, so whenever sun malefic planet sits in fourth house, inner restlessness increases. The mental thing tension increases, because sun, apart from being a dharmic planet, still it's considered as a malefic, because it burns. Wherever sun sits, it burns, right? So that's why, it creates the inner restlessness, right? Okay, now whenever sun sits in a fourth house, it makes a domestic struggle. It will have the domestic struggle. So whenever the sun sits in fourth house, you will have domestic struggle, because you want to sign in the house, you want to have a dominance in the house, you want to have authority in your house, you have the stubbornness, you have the rigid thought, and due to that, there might have there can have tension arises, and due to that, domestic struggle can be seen over there in the fourth house. All right. Okay, let's talk about what you can learn lesson. So, and what you can listen, what lesson you can just imply to your life, so that it could be a great thing for you. So, build peace within, build your peace within before seeking outside, right? So you have to build your peace within first. The thing is, you have to make sure you are making a peace within before seeking from outside. If you want to seek validation from outside, first make sure you have to make peace with yourself. All right. Okay, so see you now. Let's talk about sun in the fifth house. So fifth house is in the Kalpurus Kundali. So Leo sign falls in the fifth house, and fifth house where the sun, if it is, if you are in the Mesh Rasi ascendant, that in the five, if sun will sit in the fifth house, that will in the So Rasi. But if sun sits in fifth house, it's also a So house, right? It's in the uh, his comfort house, right? So sun in the fifth house, it can give you very, it can make you very intelligent person. It can make you a very religious and dharmic person as well, and it can make you very creative romantic person. you know it can make you very very creative, because in the fifth house represents the creativity, fifth house represent the children, fifth house represent your mind as well, fifth house represent your intellects, right? And fifth house represent your children. And fifth house also represent love, romance, relationship, right? So fifth house, and also fifth house represent purva punya, and fifth house represent also the mantra sadhana, right? So okay, so these people will be very creative, romantic, and influential. If you will be teacher or mentor, you will be very much influencer, right? And if sun sits in fifth house, that can make you famous as well, because it's a natural house of sun, and it's like sun has sitten in the his throne, right? So sun has in sitten in his throne, so that's why sun in the fifth house can give you mentality like a king. You want to serve the people, you want to, like, you will have, of course, ego in love. So challenges, let's talk about challenges. So when sun sits in fifth house, you might have like ego in love. You feel like okay, you will be egoistic, right? Stubbornness can happen, and issue with the child as well, because you will be very stubborn, you will be very rigid, and you don't want to listen to things, right? So in that case, like sun can behave as a malefic, right? But having said that, it's a sun's fifth house is a like his native place as well, so it can give you a good place until and unless you see the combination and all the things, aspects, and all the things, right? The degree of the planet and all the aspect. So now let's talk about the lesson from sun in the fifth house. Share your wisdom with compassion. You have to share your wisdom, but don't be egoistic. You make sure you are being very much compassionate, right? Compassion should be your core values, because you are king. When sun sits in fifth house, you are king, and king don't have to like bargain, right? King don't have to like bargain. The king don't have to talk louder. His silence is enough, right? So behave like a king. If you have a good placement, if your sun is in a good rasi, so make sure don't act childish. Just be in your seat, right? Okay. So let's talk about sun in the sixth house. So whenever sun sits in the sixth house, so you can defeat your enemy. You can defeat your enemy, because it glow ups your enemy. You will have lots of enemy. First the thing, because wherever sun sits, it gives signs your the place, right? So you will have lots of enemy, first thing. And you can defeat the enemy, because you will have lots of enemy and you can defeat the enemy as well. So that makes you, sun sits in sixth house, that makes you disciplined. Because let's talk about what is the sixth house. Sixth house is of disease. Sixth house is about the debts, right? Sixth house is about the enemies, right? And sixth house is also about the serving, and sixth house is also about your maternal uncle, right? Maternal uncle also. So sixth house is also about the like your pets, your animal, whatever you keep. So that represent from the sixth house. Okay. So whenever sun sits in the sixth house, also sun sits in any houses, that makes you discipline about the that house, right? So until analysis it's not afflicted, of course, right? So that makes you disciplined and excel in the service and like competition. Whenever you are in the competition and the service, you will have very competitive spirit. You want to compete with the things, you want to excel in the service, where whatever you are providing, you want to be a very unique, right? You want to make sure that someone doesn't do earlier than you, right? So sun in sixth house, because it's a sixth house is also about the competition. So sun in the sixth house, that can be seen in the sun in the sixth house. Okay. So lesson, and let's talk about the challenges. What happens when sun is in the sixth house? Okay, that can give you the stress, because sun is the malefic as well, and it is in the sixth house. That makes you stress, because it can produce you restlessness. You want in very competitive spirit, right? And that's why I mean, being a very competitive, you doesn't want to rest down. And there can be health concern as well. So sixth house is also about the, I mean, illness. So sixth house is also about the diseases. So sun whenever sits, because that amplify the things, right? That gives illuminate the things, and that brightens your house. So that can create a health concern as well, right? And there can be a workplace conflict, right? So there could be work conflict whenever sun sits in sixth house. There can have a work conflict, a workplace conflict, because that's your office room, and you will have a sun over there. So you will have a dominating personality, you want to dominate your co-worker, you will have authoritative thing, you want to do my way or highway. So there things can go wrong way. So my dear friends, whenever sun sits in the sixth house, make sure like be very disciplined, be humble, right? Don't try to like dominate others. And also, since sixth sun's in the sixth house, don't let other to dominate you as well. Okay. So lesson: discipline is your greatest strength, because sixth house is about discipline, daily and daily work, right? So sixth house is your service, right? So whenever sun sits in the sixth house, make sure discipline should be your greatest strength, right? Okay. Now we'll be talking about sun in the seventh house. So sun in the seventh house. Let's talk about sun. What is the seventh house? Seventh house is a relationship. Seventh house is a partnership. Seventh house is of your spouse, right? Seventh house is about of your public image. Seventh house is about business, right? Seventh house is about like I mean, far from your land as well. So, seventh house is about your public dealing as well, right? So, whenever sun sits in seventh house, that can give you influential partner, right? Because it's a house of partner. So, your partner may come from influential family background, or he or she may be influential in the mass level, or he she can have like leadership capacity, or he she may be egoistic person as well, because sun is a natural, I mean, talent as well, right? Leadership capacity, and it shows the dominance as well. And if it is has this quality, of course there will have little much of ego as well, right? Okay. In sun in the seventh house, that can make you bald as well. I mean, I have my sun in seventh house. So you'll have a list here as well. Of course, the dasa antar dasa, and then of course that can make you, because it is seen in the prominent in the chart, right? Because sun sees the sun seventh aspect is in the lagna, right? And lagna is your face, right? Your face value is the lagna, right? So whenever sun sits in your seventh house, that have your influential partner, success through business and public dealings will happen. So you will have success through the public dealing and business, right? And whenever sun sits in seventh house, make sure to not have ego in the relationship, because seventh house is the natural karaka is the Venus, right? Mercury and Venus, right? So it's a kind of seventh house has Libra. So seventh house, whenever it's like house of cold house, right? And whenever in the cold house the heat is comes from the sun, that burns there. So make sure whenever you have seventh house sun, make sure you have you try to avoid like egoistic approach. You try to avoid stubbornness. You try to avoid the commanding nature, uh, like with your spouse, right? So let's talk about what can be the challenges in sun in the seventh house. So whenever sun is in the seventh house, dominance is seen in the relationship. You can see dominance in the relationship, very egoistic thing, right? And delayed harmony in many like delayed harmony in marriage, right? So because sun in the seventh house have like authoritative like behavior, right? Egoistic thing. I have everything, I am talented, why should I like bend down, why should I be on knee, why should I serve? No, my dear friend, here is the catch. Whenever you have sun in the seventh house, make sure you are the king over there, right? Wherever there is a sun, you are the king in that part. So it means it's seventh house and it has sun. It means your spouse is king or queen. You know, it means you have to serve them, right? It means you have to serve them. You have to behave as like you are serving to them, and less you have to make sure that you have to low down your ego. He or she might have ego, but you have to compromise, because if you will have ego and he or she will have ego, so both ego classes happen and there will be a destruction in the relationship. In that case you can chant the, I mean, sun mantra as well. So that's remedy. I will talk about remedial part as well in the last part of the video as well. Okay, so now let's talk about what can be lesson learned from the sun in seventh house. So what you have to imply as a lesson. So partnership thrives on equality. You have to make sure that you maintain the equality. Don't like try to like overpower your spouse, and don't try to overpower, get or like dominated by your spouse as well. So it's a both way possible thing. So partnership only is thrive in equality. So that should be your more core like lesson from sun in seventh house. All right, now we'll be talking about sun in the eighth house. So let's talk about what is exactly is the eighth house. So eighth house is about dark places. Eighth house is about symmetric ground. Eighth house is about mrityu sthan, right? Death house. So eighth house is about transformation. Eighth house is about intense sadhana, I mean pinnacle things, or any kind of mantra jap or anything mystical thing, occult thing, research. So 8 hours of a mystic thing. 8 hours is about the ghost. I mean tantra, mantra, and all the things. So 8 house is about also deep, like intuitive things. 8 house is about it's a watery sign, Scorpio sign. Eighth house is about secret, house of the secret. Whenever the sun falls in the eighth house, it reveals the secret. So you could be someone who could like, and you could have issue with the government. You could have issue with the government, or you want to like you want to like do any kind of breaking news with like the government has done this, or you want to, you can reveal your any corruption case or something like that. So sun in the eighth house, sometimes you might have health issue as well, because whenever sun goes in the eighth house, sun is your vitality, right? Your body's vitality, and whenever it goes over there, that case weaken, because it's around like sun setting time, right? That's why sun in the eighth house, that can make you deep intuitive person, that can make you a very deep intuitive person, and it can have, you can have a transformative power. So whenever sun in the eighth house, you can have a very much transformative power, and you will have of course interest in occult sciences. uh, you will have deep interest in occult science and research thing, mystical thing. You want to learn about the, I mean, like occult science, mystery things. What the thing which are hidden, you want to go deeper into the whenever the sun sits in the eighth house. Okay. Now let's talk about what could be the challenges whenever you have sun in the eighth house. So challenges would be sudden changes. You, because eighth house is about also changes, difficulties, right? Eighth house is about like unearned money as well. Or eighth house is also about minds, right? So sudden changes will happen in your life. I mean, whenever a sun sets in, you never like have like um, I mean, you haven't articulated the thing, but it had happened. So whenever sun sits in eighth house, sudden changes might happen, and then you might have inheritance issue as well, because eighth house is also about the inheritance, right? On money or dowry as well, right? So emotional intensity, it can bring emotional intensity more, because you want, that could be stressful as well sometimes, because whenever like sun sits in eighth house, you will have intense emotion, you have a very much, you are very aggressive from inside, right? Because you want to research, you want to unreveal something that has been hidden, which is not good sometimes, because why it is hidden, right? Scorpio sign, why it is hidden? Because it wants to be hidden. There is Ketu energy. He doesn't want to show up himself, and whenever you try to like reveal that thing, there might have some kind of problem and conflict with the authorities or something, like. Okay, lesson from the like lesson for the eighth house sun. So embrace your transformation without fear. So you have to make sure that always embrace your transformation without fear, because whenever sun sits in that like eighth house, of course you will have transformation, right? You will have transformative life. With the increasing time, your life will be changed like 360, because you try to always transform yourself, and of course the circumstances make you transform in the like transform you. So make sure you don't fear with the transformation. Okay, now we'll be talking about the sun in the ninth house. Let's talk about what is the ninth house. Ninth house is about the house of the dharma. The ninth house is a house of guru. Ninth house is the house of father, right? And now ninth house is also about house of authority, right? And now house is also your fortune, your bhagya, right? So ninth house represent the fortune. Okay, so now let's talk about what happens when sun sits in the ninth house, right? You will have excellent career, first thing first, because it's the house of fortune. It is the house of authority as well, father as well. So you could be someone who could be manage the things, you could be in the managerial things, or you could be leader, you will be leading the team or something like that. Wherever you will be go, you will be leading the things, right? So you will have a great fortune, first thing. And you will be very much a spiritual person, you can be very spiritual person, because sun represents the dharma. Sun is also dharmic planet as well, so it's represent the dharma as well. So you will have a spiritual growth over there, and you will be ethical, you will be someone who will be ethical, and you will be respected by mentors, you will be respected by mentors, because it is a house of the son, house of the mentors, gurus, and your father. So I mean, you could be respected by them as well, because they will see something bright in you, right? And you could be their bright disciple as well. Okay, let's talk about the challenges. So challenges, you will have conflict with father, because father is a son, right? Father is a son, and it's a ninth house of your father. So there may be ego struggle between you and your father. Sometimes you want to dominate, and your father, of course, he is your father. So don't try to teach your father what to do, right? So it's of course, and then a conflict might be happens with your guru as well. So you will have rigid beliefs, right? Related to religions, related to your caste, I mean your values. You will be very much rigid about the things. So whenever sun sits in the ninth house, you will be very much rigid about that. Okay, let's talk about what lesson you have to imply in your life. So true wisdom with always comes with the humility. Always make sure, my dear friend, true wisdom always come with humility. Whenever you have humility, whenever you are humble, that is the true wisdom. Because If you have wisdom and you are very much egoistic, you are very pridey, and you try to show ego in, and you are very arrogant about your knowledge, that won't work. So always make sure you are humble, right? When you are humble, like, with one hand, one, like, I mean, one slap, you can slap one person, right? But when you, like, uh, join your hand, you can at least make make people respect thousands of people by joining your hand. By making fear, you can slap someone and he will respect by the virtue of the fear. But once you join your hand with two hands, you can, like, get respect from a lot of people. So my dear friends, always make sure that true wisdom comes with the humility. Let's talk about sun in the 10th house. Let's talk about what exactly is the sun, 10th house. 10th house is of your authority, 10th house is your career, 10th house is your karma house, right? So 10th house is of also government, government office or government work. So whenever sun sits in the 10th house, it's a peak time. It's about, when it's about 11 to 12 a.m, 12 p.m. So that time suns is all above the your head, right? Sun is above your head. Like, and you can't see the sun because it's so bright that you couldn't, like, compete with that, and your eye will get dazzled with the light, brightness of the sun. So whenever you will have sun in the 10th house, you will have excellent career. You will have excellent career because sun has a directional strength and digbal over there as well. And authority, you will have authority. You will have fame. You will be very authoritative person over there. You could be manager, you could be leader, or you could be someone CEO of your company, or so you will have government job. Chances of having government job is extremely high because sun's in the 10th house. It's not always the case. There might be different combination, and that can, like, uh, not may have your government job, but there is possibility, most possibility, that when sun sits in the 10th house, you might have the government job. So or you will have the success in leadership. So whatever your leadership you will do, you will have successful, like, career over there, right? Okay, let's talk about the challenges when sun sits in the 10th house. Whenever sun sits in 10th house, what happens is will have a hard time to balance work life balance, because you want to do everything, you want to juggle down, you want to micromanage, because you are in a authoritative like place, and you will be in the constant pressure, and you will have extreme proud in your achievement. I have done this, I have done that, because of course you will have proud because you gain fame, and you have, because you have to work hard, because it's the natural house of Capricorn. And in the Capricorn, when sun sits, you have to, like, do lots of hard work, struggle, and of course that may result in the good career success and fame, good leadership, and also government job and excellent career. Okay, now let's talk about lesson what you can imply in your life, so that sun in 10th house give you fruitful result. So let your action define your legacy. So you have to make sure you don't have to speak much more. Let your action define your legacy. Whenever your action define your legacy, people will feel your authority, people will feel your leadership, people will value, people will respect you, and your fame will of course arise, because king don't speak much more, because he doesn't have to speak, right? Because he has much within going on, he has much authority, that if he speaks, that matters, right? So sun in the 10th house, let your action define your legacy. Now let's talk about sun in 11th house. What happens when sun is in 11th house? Let's talk about what is 11th house. 11th house is about your social network. 11th house is about your desires. 11th house is about your elder siblings. 11th house is about your all the desires, ichha, wishes. And 11th house is also about the humanitarian act you want to do, right? So whenever sun sits in the like uh, also, 11th house is a house of income, gains, right? More than income, right? So, whenever sun sits in the 11th house, you will have a strong income source, right? You will have influential work network. So, whenever you have like sun in the 11th house, you will have influential network. I mean, the big celebrity you know, the big businessman you can know, big politician you know, big police officer you know. I mean, you will have connection with the influential person, right? Because sun is in your 11th house, right? Okay, now whenever sun sits in like 11th house, there will be fulfillment of ambition when you will be very much ambition and your ambition will be fulfilled as well. So whenever sun sits in 11th house, you will have fulfillment of desire because you will try to do whatever, I mean, and because you will sign over there, and due to that your desire will be get fulfilled. Okay, you will have get great friendship with influential person, right? So in that your friends could be someone who has like who has a government job can also be there. All right. So okay, now let's talk about challenges. So you will have high expectation from life and everything. So you will have a high expectation, and your rival could be very powerful person. Maybe you could have rivalry from the government, you could have a rivalry with king, or you could have rivalry with a very influential person who has a good son, right? So you might have ego among your friends. So you can have like ego, very egoistic nature among your friends. Okay. So now let's talk about lesson what you have to imply whenever sun sits in 11th house. So success grow through meaningful connections. So make sure that your success grow from meaningful connection. So it has been said that network is net worth. So always make sure that network should be your net worth. So make sure you have a good connection with the people so that you can like grow in your life and you can have success in the life. Okay, now the final one. So sun in the 12th house. It has been said that sun in the 12th house is in Maran Karaka as well. But let's talk about what exactly is the 12th house. 12th house is a house of isolation. 12th house is a foreign house, right? The 12th house represents the foreign land. 12th house represents the hospital. 12th house represents your conscious, subconscious mind, super conscious mind. Subconscious is third house, but super conscious mind is third house, and third house sorry, yes, like subconscious is third house, but 12th house is super conscious mind. So it has the sky energy, it's akash tattva energy as well. And 12th house is about bed pleasure as well. 12th house is about, I mean, also your bed or your sleeping place as well. And so 12th house always also represent jail, isolation, okay, hidden enemies as well, okay, and solitude as well. Okay, let's talk about what happens when sun goes in 12th house. So when sun goes in the 12th house, you will have spiritual growth. You will have spiritual growth. You might be a very spiritual person because it is a house of super consciousness, right? And it brightens your like aura. So whenever sun sits in 12th house, I think Donald Trump has sun in 12th house as well. Most influential person also used to usually have the sun in 12th house because the source come from the sky energy. Okay, so you will have a great foreign opportunity because sun whenever like sun sits in 12th house, you will have great foreign opportunity. And then you will have a charitable nature you want to give, because sun is king, and when it is also house of donation as well, and it is also house of loss. So whenever sun sits over there, so you want to donate things, you will want to do charity things, you want to do philanthropic things. Okay, now let's talk about the challenges when sun sits in like 12th house. So you will have isolation, you prefer to be in isolation, you want to spend your time in isolation. So you might have high expenses, right? High expenses, and also you might have like hidden enemies whenever sun sits in 12th house. Also you might have sleep disturbance as well, because it's a 12th house is about sleeping, right? Bed pleasure. And whenever the sun sits over there, I mean it burns, right? So there might be disturbance in intimacy as well, and egoistic problem will happen, right? Okay, now let's talk about the lesson. A lesson for like what can you imply in your life for when sun sits in a 12th house. Okay, listen, your inner light shines brightest in the solitude. Your inner light should shine brightest in the solitude. So make sure you go in the solitude, you remain in the solitude, and you enjoy the solitude whenever, because that will charge your battery, your soul battery, because sun is the soul. So whenever you are in the whenever your sun is in the 12th house, make sure you to practice isolation, right? And isolate sometimes to recharge your battery. Okay, my dear friends, if you have watched till now, please subscribe to our channel. Please follow. Please comment below how do you like, and what exactly, where is your sun placement, in which house you have, and this does these things resonate with you or not, right? So you can write, and you also like write god names in the comment section as well, because whenever you are watching this video, you are watching the astrological things, which is divine science, right? So whenever you are watching the divine science, make sure you do some punya by writing the god's name, right? And also make sure to do any kind of sadhana. Okay, now remedial part. So first thing, sun, what sun represents. So remedy about for the sun is that if sun sits in your whenever whichever house, make sure to be very humble, don't show egoistic nature, because you feel like king, right? If you have a good placement of sun, you feel like king. But king has the nature, you have to practice humility, because ego will definitely come, but you have to practice the humility. Okay, the remedy is that you can japa the mantra, you can chant this mantra: Om Rang Ring Rong Sa Suryaya Nama. 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 And you can Google that mantra as well. And you can like chant this mantra as well. And you can just you can give arga to Surya. So you can offer the water with kumkum, that is sindoor, you can offer that, right? And you can add kesar as well, and some good jaggery, you can add jaggery on that, and you can offer to Surya Dev. And you can also chant this mantra: Vakratundra Mahakarya Surya Koti Samapra Nirvignam Turme Deva Sukarya Susarvada. Right? So that will also increase your sun. And whenever you like, if you want to increase your like the power of sun, if you want to do the remedy of sun, never accept donation from anyone. Try to donate lots of people, try to give food to lots of your friend, and don't bargain with like a shopkeeper, don't act like a chiller people, I mean, don't act like a cheap, you act like you have something, and you are here to do something. So like always take initiative, have a leadership capacity, and always respect your father. Most important thing, always respect your father. Always like don't say any foul word to your father. Always make sure to give happiness to your father. Never fight with the government authorities, right? I mean, in the wrong way don't fight, right? so that will make your sun strong. So do this remedy, and after, like, of course, if you are doing any kind of remedy, it's better to do at least start with 21 days or 41 days. So in that way you can do the remedy. Okay, so thank you so much watching till now, sun in all the houses. And please subscribe to Astro Impact. And so it takes lots of effort to like have make this video. Thank you so much. Please comment down your thoughts. Thank you. Take care. Good wishes. Namah Parvati Pati Har Har Mahadev. Om Surya Namah Mitraya Namah. Om Vakratundra Mahakarya Suryakoti Samarpa Nirvignam Turme Deva Sukharya Sarvada. Thank you so much. Take care.